Hey guys, we have a massive video in here. This was just dropped by GGG themselves, and it is a video called Path of Exile 2 Major Endgame Changes. And look at this beautiful thumbnail. We have in here the great Jonathan, and he's saying, "Towers gone, brother." This is massive, this is huge. This is what everybody has been asking for. Towers are going away. And thank God for that, because towers suck dick. Big, massive, juicy, beanie, donkey dick. So let's see what Jonathan has to say in here, brother. I am hyped, as you can see.
Hi, I'm Jonathan Rogers from Grinding Gear Games. Now, it's no secret that we need to make some improvements to the endgame, and the plan has been to do some pretty major changes in 040, but we realized it might be nice to iterate on some of the more mechanical changes in 031, and just save the new content for 040.
This is awesome. They are not waiting for 0.4 to fix this shit. We are going to do it right away, and then in 0.4 we improve it even more. That is awesome, dude.
That way we can get a chance to test some of these things a bit earlier. A major concern for players are the mechanics around towers.
Yes!
Players don't like having to find towers to juice their maps, and don't enjoy needing to find multiple overlapping towers to get the best outcomes. In order to fix that, you no longer need towers to use tablets. Instead, tablets can now be placed in the map device to add their bonuses directly to your maps.
We have scarabs, boys. If you play PoE 1, you know that this is how scarabs work. I am fine with it. I am fine with it. I don't care. But now instead of scarabs, you use tablets. Same shit.
Each time you use a tablet while running a map, the number of remaining uses goes down. Once it reaches 0, the tablet is destroyed.
Even better, because scarabs are a one-time use. Now tablets are 10 times used.
You can use up to 3 tablets on each map, but the number of enabled slots is based on how many mods the map has. Running a 6-mod map will enable all 3 of the tablet slots on the map device.
Nice.
This change allows you to benefit fully from tablets, no matter what random layout of towers you happen to find. Towers can still be used to gain visibility on the atlas, and they'll also drop an extra tablet as a reward for completing them.
This is cool to still incentivize you to run the tower, and you can, I have to think that you can use the tower itself, because the tower is a map. You probably can use the tower itself, like if it is a regular map, and you still uncover the map and get an extra tablet. So probably you will still travel to the tower and do the tower, but not because of using, because you are using everything, and you're going to use the tower itself. But the tower as a cool map that you discover is cool to traverse and to explore. This solves so many things at the same time. They are not completely scratching towers. You are going to still use them, but not to use maps. You can use the tower itself. This encourages exploration of the map, which is what we wanted, because if we got this beautiful big atlas map, and we can't traverse through it because we are encouraged to stay within one place, this encourages exploration. You can still uncover the tower to explore, and you can still keep going because you are applying the use directly to the map, like scarabs. It solves many issues. People are going to still complain about layouts. I don't know if they will introduce some form of terraforming orb, which is the orb of horizons in PoE 1, to allow people to change layouts. People are going to still complain about that. But this solves so many things on so many levels that it is insane. This is huge, and we don't have to wait much for it because it is 0.3.1. Hyped as brother, I was thinking that I was almost done with the league. I am cooking a tier build. I have done 2 guides. I am cooking a tier build for a tier guide, and I thought, well, that will be it for me for this league. I already did everything that I wanted to do. This changes everything. This changes everything. Because now this shit is pulling me back in to keep playing, dude. This is insane. Let's go.
Something we've never really been happy with was the base experience of how you complete a map. In PoE 2, we wanted boss fights to feel challenging and rewarding, so we decided to make bosses spawn only in some maps. In all the other maps, the completion condition for the map was killing all the rare monsters. However, we don't really feel this is that enjoyable. It tends to degenerate into just following minimap icons. In order to address this, we're now making all maps contain map bosses.
Praise the Lord! I love love fighting bosses, and I don't like fighting rares. Praise the Lord for this shit, brother. Now I can just focus on bossing if I want to. This is awesome, awesome.
To complete the map, just kill the map boss. You no longer need to kill any rares, and you can do as much or as little of the rest of the map as you please. We still want some map bosses to be more challenging and rewarding though. The existing icons that currently indicate that there's a map boss now instead mean that the map boss of the area will be extra challenging, with more rewards and the map tier upgrade. We also wanted to improve the base experience of mapping in other ways by making sure that there is at least a guaranteed minimum amount of bonus content in each map. As you generate each map, we will now always add between 1 to 3 extra random features, including Breach, Delirium, Ritual, and Expedition, as well as Shrines, Strongboxes, Essences, Wisps, Rogue Exiles, and Summoning Circles. This content will be added in addition to the content added by your tablets and maps, and will be selected afterwards. This means that if you have a mob that adds an Expedition which can't have more than one in a map, then we'll make sure to select something else instead. With both this change and the tower change, content icons for Breach, Delirium, Ritual, and Expedition have been removed from the Atlas. All the content you didn't add yourself will be randomly generated as you go to the area. Currently, we believe the time to complete a given map is a bit too long, and so we're lowering it. To start with, we're taking the 15 largest maps.
This is one of the biggest complaints for people, that maps are too big. They are addressing that too, brother. This is massive.
And reducing their sizes. We also felt like there were just too many monsters. The size of monster packs in T1 maps was actually over 40% higher than in the interlude area right before it. This also resulted in a sudden difficulty spike at the start of Endgame, if your build wasn't able to handle large packs well. Getting swarmed by monsters is a common complaint in the endgame. To address that, we're lowering the number of monsters and monster packs at the start of the endgame by 30%. As you go through the tiers, the number of monsters will increase so that by tier 15, it's the same as it was before. This will also increase the difference between map tiers. We're also making a change that PoE 1 already had, where maps with very open layouts have slightly lowered pack density compared to the more closed indoor maps. This was done in order to prevent you getting swarmed too much in open maps, and so we're doing this for PoE 2 as well. This should significantly reduce the time taken to clear maps and reduce the difficulty that many players are experiencing as they enter the endgame.
And I have to ask the maps, now that you are going to kill the boss, well, we normally, and people in PoE 1 know this, like they normally have like a rough, you will start to identify the layouts and to know, well, in this layout, the boss is normally in this part of the map, right? And people rush there. Like if you want to rush the map and you are not going to kill all rest, but you want to clear the map and get to the boss as fast as possible, will they give you the icon for the boss, or will they still not show you the boss and you have to figure it out? I am fine with either. If they want you to find it, okay, we find it. I think that, again, that people will just identify the layout and they say, well, the boss must be in this part of the map and go there fast, right? But this changes many things. And again, yes, they are talking about the time to finish the map. If you want to rush the boss, that can be really fucking fast.
Now, there are still a lot of other new features and content that we want to add to the endgame, but we believe that these changes are a good step towards improving the base experience of mapping.
They are. This is massive, dude. And we thought we had to wait for 0.4 for this, and they are doing it right away in 0.3.1, which now makes me think, since they said that 0.4 was going to be focused on endgame, what the fuck crazy stuff are we going to see in 0.4? 0.4 might be massive as well. Dude, he's cooking all the time. Never doubt GGG, brother. Alongside this video, they also released this post explaining further stuff. Let's check their... I am not going to milk you guys and make two separate videos, one with the video and one with the article. Let's do all this shit right away. As you know, the improvements to the endgame are a big focus of our next 0.4.0 content update for Path of Exile 2. Yes. Which now makes me think it is going to be massive because of this. If this was the reward we were hoping for 0.4 and we are getting it now, what kind of crazy shit we are going to get in 0.4? I have to think new activities, the way the tablets work probably, the Atlas 3 is going to change probably. Well, this is not the moment to speculate about that. Let's go. However, we realize that it might be better to introduce some of the mechanical changes to the endgame sooner than that. They are realizing that the league has good retention because of the player power and the crafting and all of that, but that the endgame is boring, so they said we have to address this right fucking now to keep the retention high. Probably, I don't know, that is a speculation on my part. Next week, we are going to release patch 0.3.1 and we don't have to wait. It is next week. Even if it is Friday next week, it is still next week, dude. So this is, we have it right here, man. Until then, I will probably, because now you have in your mind, like, I am wasting my time using towers. I will probably not use any tower and just do Trial of Chaos or bosses or whatever while we wait for this. Next week, we are planning to release 0.3.1 with major changes and improvements to the end game. Watch the video below. We just watching. The video covers the broad stroke of the changes coming to the end game, but there are other changes and details that will be important. Below, we are covering some of the additional changes included in this patch. Alchemy Orbs, okay? With the introduction of tier currency in 0.3, Alchemy Orbs became less valuable and had fewer uses. This is true. Alchemy Orbs so big, nobody uses and nobody cares about Alchemy Orbs. To give them more function and to smooth out the process of crafting your maps, Alchemy Orbs can now be used on magic items. This will upgrade the magic item into a rare with 4 new random modifiers. So I guess I have to practice how this works in game, because with this wording I can think that it randomizes the 2 modifiers that you already had on there, and now it gives you 4 new ones, or maybe it with the 2 that you already had and now this gives you 4 on top and you have 6. Like, those are the 2 interpretations. You will still resolve. It can be that you get the same outcome you get from an Alchemy Orb right now, which is 4 random rare with 4 random modifiers. So basically you are chaosing, like using a chaos orb for the 2 modifiers that you already have in the magic item, or you keep the 2 modifiers and you get 4 on top, and now you get a rare with 6 modifiers. I don't know. I have to see it in practice. Towers and tablets. As your tablets are now directly applied to your maps, this means that you can now apply the content you desire to every single map you run. No more bullshit maps that you don't care about because of traveling. Awesome, man. Assuming you have the tablet supply. However, the ceiling for the amount of content you can apply to a single map has been lowered. Exactly. Since now you don't have overlapping, now you can have 3, 6, or 9 tablets applying to one map that can only have 3. That means that you have to increase the power of each tablet to keep the same power level of using, right? Overall, this results in a more streamlined and consistent experience, but in order to not have the ceiling come down too far with both the modifiers on tablets, generally the modifiers are approximately 2 to 3 times as powerful. Here's a few examples. Collectors now has a value of 10 to 30% increased rarity of items found from 7 to 10. Teaming has a value of 25 to 7 increased magic monsters. Strong boxes now has a value of 50 to 100 increased chance for your maps to contain strong boxes. Nice. We have also added a few new modifiers. Of the devoted area contain an additional shrine, an additional strong box, an additional essence, inhabited by 1 additional rogue exile. This is awesome because if you haven't tried to do rogue exiles, it's smart of you because they suck in terms of rewards. They are a cool mechanic, but the rewards suck. I like rogue exiles, so I have tried to focus on rogue exiles. Even if you put every single point for rogue exiles in your tree, in your Atlas tree, and you put increased chance for rogue exiles in your tablets, you will still not get rogue exiles in the majority of your maps. So this is better because this way you guarantee that you will get a rogue exile. Awesome. Additional as media spirit, summoning circle. If you don't know what a summoning circle is, this spawns a boss. 25 to 50% increased chance to contain a summoning circle. Awesome. And here's some other pieces of information to know about tablets. Unique tablets have their own individual number of uses. When using tablets in the reforging bench, the resultant item will have the sum of the input tablets as its remaining number of uses. When in an inventory like your personal one or a stash, the number of uses remaining on each tablet can be seen on the bottom right of its icon. Awesome. Existing tablets that have been applied to your atlas will remain and you will not lose any value due to these changes. Meaning if the patch drops and you had used some area of the map, you will keep the use. Okay. Probably some people will try to exploit this in some way, like applying the use and waiting for the patch and then putting more use in the maps with the new tablet system. If they allow people to do that, people are going to do that and then getting it is going to just be for a few maps, but for the few maps that you do it, you will get extra fucking insane use if they allow you to do that. Map size. Some maps took considerably longer than others to navigate or complete, so we reduce the size of the following maps. Please let Meyer be in this bad boy. Ori, Bastille, Bloomingfield, Channel, Epitaph, Fortress, Greenhaven, Hidden Grotto, Oasis, Penitentiary, Rupture, Savannah, Slick Bar City. Where is Meyer? Yee! Meyer, motherfucker! I am happy with the patch, so I am not going to complain just because Meyer is not there. But come on, man. Atlas 3. As a result of changes such as every map now containing a boss, we have to make some modifications to the Atlas 3. For example, the Crystal Realm notable on the map boss tree, which previously added an additional essence to areas containing a map boss, now only applies to areas with powerful map bosses, okay? Note this result is effectively no change. It is the same amount of essences before and after. Okay, nice. In general, the map boss tree applies to all map bosses, with only a select few notables now specifically applying to maps with powerful map bosses. Okay? Additionally, you'll notice a number of other nodes changing throughout the core Atlas 3 to account for mechanical changes around towers. We try to make sure these are kept approximately the same before and afterwards, so your Atlas 3 will remain the same. They are probably changing the saving the rework for the Atlas 3 for 0.4 because yes, the Atlas 3 needs a fucking rework. It sucks dick. Citadels have had their spawn rate increased by 66%. Beautiful. Love that because citadels are too rare right now. Love this. Other improvements. Modifiers that cause the area to be covered in shield, shocking, ignited ground. This shit sucks dick. And brother, I don't know if I am unlucky, but 4 out of 5 maps that I roll have shield ground. It is like this modifier is too common. Now costs much less ground to be covered. At least 66% of the ground effects currently covering the ground will be removed. This value is higher on lower tier waystones. This will make people very, very happy. Very happy. We have fixed a few problems where map boss difficulty was not applying to many multi-form bosses. So a few of the maps with deadly map bosses will now be more difficult as a result. I am fine with that. It was always pretty odd that the second and third phases of some of these bosses had 10 times less life than the first phase. This was an unintentional mistake. This happened with the Takabi, however he's called, the Act 4 boss, but in the endgame, in the Jade Isles, it was like that. Alongside the changes mentioned above, the patch contains various improvements and fixes to a plethora of issues. All the details will be covered in the full patch notes, which will post as soon as we can. Stay tuned. Brother, these are massive news and I am very happy. I am very, 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 very fucking happy. Thank you very much for this. Thank you for releasing this soon next week and not waiting for 0.4. I was like, I am still like, I want 327 for PoE 1. Please put the trading system in 327 for PoE 1. But this makes it so that the wait will be bearable, right? Because we have content. We have content for PoE 2, man. I don't know if they will include some balance changes in this patch. Let's see what they do regarding balance, or if they don't do anything regarding balance and they keep everything the same. But yes, massive news for next week for 0.3.1, and we will be keep having fun in PoE 2 because this changes everything, dude. Let me know what you think in the comments below. I love reading comments even when they don't agree with me. Also remember to like the video, to subscribe to the channel, all that cool stuff. Guys, thanks for being here. You guys are awesome. God bless you. And remember, don't be afraid ever because this is just a ride.